Hey guys, I'm Sean LaFlock, head performance coach at CrossFit Delray Beach and founder of Flock Fitness. Today, I'm going to be analyzing Matt Fraser's run against Ben Smith in the 2016 sprint event. Coming at you. So if you're new to the channel here, please guys consider subscribing, rate and review this video so we can kind of grow this flock. The reason why I'm bringing up this video is because I want to take a look at this with you guys to give you an idea from the coach's perspective of what makes Matt Fraser the best CrossFitter in the world. And it might not be what you think, because when you think about a sprint event, he's fast, maybe he's got background in running, etc. Really what I'm looking for is the biomechanics of the movement. Based upon my research when I was younger, the last 10 years of movement practice and combing the world for the best movement practices and specifically postural restoration. When we look at Matt Fraser from this angle going against Ben Smith and also Marcus Philly and a cameraman, we see that Matt Fraser runs a little bit differently, but it's because of the mechanics of his body that he allows him to run with such effortless speed. So let's take a look together. Basically, the last part of this workout that I really want to analyze, and this is the home stretch where on this last turn, we have everybody pretty much together. You have Ben Smith leading the way, and obviously we have to show that the cameraman, I believe his name is Marston Sawyers, down the sideline kind of keeping up with these guys. So here's what I see here is as they're neck and neck here, you're going to see that Ben Smith, his lower back is extended, is overextended. Ben's breathing patterns, the way he actually gets air in and out, is most effective for him by breathing through his stomach and kind of like right underneath his rib cage here. I don't know if you could just show it here, but right underneath here, right here. So what that's going to force his rib cage to do is kind of get in this flared position. So he's almost thinking like you can imagine the alien from Aliens popping out of his chest, right? So when you look at Matt Fraser, his back is super, super neutral. And then you look at a little lower what that means for their hip position. So if your back is an extension because your breathing pattern, the way you get air in and out, that balloon has to expand this way and lifting your ribs up toward your face. To compensate, your hips are gonna have to do something. So for Ben Smith, his natural tendency is to get into an anterior pelvic tilt. Whereas when you look at Matt here, you see his, it's actually really nice that you can see his waistline lines up with his shorts perfectly, and you see that it's almost like a perfect, like parallel to the ground angle, which is phenomenal. I mean, that is what you will see in very, very high level runners. I'm also big into pose running. I'm a pose running trained, so it's like you're able to get in and out of your pose very effectively because you can extend your hip properly. Ben really doesn't have hip extension. Ben has lower back extension, and then he has some like kind of like kicking out the side of his leg. But when we look at this video here, and as this comes by, you can see that the strides and his cycle rate for Matt is going to be a lot better. His foot is going to land a lot closer underneath his base of support. Whereas Ben is going to have to go through his back extension movement in order for him to get his next stride. This is like, such a minuscule thing, but this is an event that came down to tenths of seconds. So these things count. Now, the other thing that I think about, and I think I'd love to share with you guys, is that this is the CrossFit Games where there's anywhere between 15 to 25 events on a weekend. That adds up over time. The number of contractions that you have to do over a weekend is unbelievable. So if you're an athlete who's thinking, okay, how do I maximize performance? How hard do I have to go? What do I have to eat? Well, maybe you need to start looking at your posture instead and start looking at some of the things that's doing that you may not be doing, and maybe start to emulate some of those things. Now, I'm not saying that Matt is doing breathing exercises like I prescribe on my website, and if you like to understand and learn how to breathe properly, you definitely want to subscribe and look through some of my previous videos. But for Matt, he has, learned over time, probably from a very young age, how to breathe and move at the same time with most effectiveness and with most versatility, which is a huge thing too, because you might be saying to yourself, well, if you're a power lifter, what does it matter for you to be able to breathe? You're right, but what about the versatility? What about your ability to go ahead and do a power lift, maximum deadlift, then also go for a run or a swim, or be able to put your hands over your head? And if you look at the latter, you're not going to be able to do all that versatility with those breathing strategies, is a better word for it. So take a little page out of Matt Fraser's book here. We're trying to get the hips level. We're trying to get the rib cage tucked down, back and in. And the proof is in the pudding. You look at Ben Smith right next to him, who's with a compensated breathing pattern, not able to hang with the world's best. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this video, please subscribe, rate, and review. If there's other videos or athletes or anything that you want me to kind of go through with my breadth of knowledge in the biomechanics and posture world, please leave it below in the comments. And we'll see you next time on Flock Fitness.